Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today this is the final part of my following the art Sherpa Cinnamon Cooney's painting of her celestial princess. Now, I'm ashamed to tell you that I kind of erased everything that I did in the video that you saw before, and I'm starting again because I just didn't like it. It just wasn't right. Now, I kept it in. I kept the other one in and did not edit this out or that part because I thought if anybody watched it who is in a situation like me with brain fog and all that, and medication fog and all that deliciousness, maybe one or the other would help you. So, I hope it does. I know my lighting is a bit weird. Like I said, it does get better at the end because I figured out a different way to film, but you'll still see what I'm doing. So I'm laying down the fog again because I just um I just didn't dig the first one. Now, I am also on a new editing system, Power Director. I think I mentioned in my other video. So I'm doing a voiceover. I'm learning a lot of new things. So hopefully as time continues on, my editing will get a little bit better rather than just always one shots, which I do enjoy my one shots. I don't like to edit everything out, but for this particular one, I do suggest, highly suggest that you go to Cinnamon's channel, which is linked below, and at a end of the video, it's like a little clickable link, and go, see her supplies, see her website, see how she does it, follow her instruction, because I just, you know, I think would be better off for you. But I wanted to show how, especially as this continues on now towards the end, how to make it your own, to not always, have to. You don't feel like it always has to look like the person that maybe you're learning from. Do you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us have difficulties with the processing of information, and we all do it differently. So it's okay. Uh, this year, 2018, for me is going to be. I've told you this, guys, before. A year of pushing myself, stepping outside my comfort zone, learning new things, and doing an acrylic painting is one of those things. And I'd like to be able to, I mean, who knows? Maybe teach a painting that comes to me down the road. Maybe not. I don't know. I love my mixed media. It is what I love. But I'm just very excited that this came out as good as it did for my first time doing something in 3 stages, 3 different videos. Uh, I really wanted to go to the wall and really push myself, and I did. Like I said, I there's a half hour of me crying. There's just it got a little rough because it just wasn't looking like hers. But again, I'm happy with the way it ended up. I'm happy with little pieces of me in here. And the next one that I follow, which I will not be recording, however, I'm going to put a little bit more of me in here with her guidance, I guess. And I love the positivity in her, in her hour and a half long in her videos. The positivity, and I do enjoy the banter. Me watching the video just through without me, which I told you I did like 4 or 5 times. I love the banter between her husband and her. I have no bad feelings towards John, even though for me it was a little hard to do with the talking and the camera changing because I have to really dig in and focus due to issues that I have. But I wanted to prove that you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. I finished the painting and I sent a picture to Cinnamon, and I didn't want to be like this fangirl. Like, sometimes when you guys write me, and you guys write me the most beautiful messages and, emails, and we email back and forth or whatever. And I'm always like, oh, come on, don't, that's so wonderful to say, but come, thank you. But I'm not that fantastic, or I didn't, it comes within you. But then I'm like fangirling over her, like, oh my gosh, like, because I felt so accomplished. It's something that I'm just not very good at, you know. I just really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, I used all my titanium white. I don't know where the heck. Watch, I'm probably squeezing. That's me squeezing. Where is it? Where is it? None's coming out. Oh, a little bit come out. And she gives you, I think I said in the other video, she gives you printouts and stuff. Oh, this was y'all know I love this. And I got carried away. I got really carried away. I went into my mixed media mode. And I was like, yeah, boy, come on. Let's splatter. Let's splatter. It don't matter. It did. It did matter because it was a bit heavy and bigger pieces than hers. But at the end, I kind of just went with it because that's me right there. Too much, too fast, too young, too fast. I don't know, too much, young, not me. Yeah. So, but that was a lot of fun to do. It's all over my monitor, everywhere. Like I have paint because I just love splatter. And then I just took a little makeup sponge and was trying to take off some of the bigger pieces because I didn't know how it would affect when it was done. And going over the foggy part. Oh, there, I apparently wanted more on there with a smaller. Look at me go. Look at me go. Jeez, oh Pete. Um, I can't. Redoing the foggy bit for me helped a lot, uh, because I just was not happy with it on the first go around. And then the more I went to try to fix it, putting those dark in the betweens and stuff like that, it just screwed it up more. So acrylic paint's so wonderful because you can just paint over it and move on. So that is what I'm doing here. Now the next part will be us drawing the little princess in the celestial princess. And don't be scared. I know you guys who cannot draw faces or choose not to draw faces or don't think you draw faces good. If you follow what she says, you'll see that it's much easier than you think. Uh, I did it, kind of my way. I think my canvas might have been a little bigger than hers. It might not have been, but you know, here I am debating. How am I going to draw it? And you'll see. That's a yellow Stabilo, which I ended up not using because then I was like, oh, when I wet this, it's going to go mix with the blue and the white and look like pee and or urine for you fancy folk. And I didn't want to really do that. So I'll change that in a minute, or will I? What the heck am I doing here even? Here I go. Just no thought. But I do have chalk, and I will go over it in a minute and use it as well. Okay, I'm apparently just keep going. Yellow Stabilo. Now I love Stabilos. You'll know. I couldn't find my black one, um, but that wouldn't have helped me here. And I do have white ones. It's just I don't know what I did with it. So now I'm just kind of watching her, and sketching. And here I go with the chalk. And honestly, go to your dollar store and get yourself some chalk. And when I at my dollar store, I think it's Dollar Tree. It came with this like cheap plastic thing that you put it in like a holder. But it works fine for me. My nails are a mess. What the heck do I even have going on with my nails there? I don't know. This was before my gel excursion with my daughter. Now she's doing my nails like a pro. So, I'm doing the face just like, she teaches you just like I do, where you do half for the eyes, then you cut that in half for the nose and then that in half for the mouth. So, the biggest problem I think I had drawing was number one, drawing over because I was recycling a canvas, which I kind of wish I didn't do that. I didn't, this sounds very arrogant of me. I didn't know I would have as much problem as I did, because I'm very full of myself. However, um, just like the whole thing, and I don't know if the texture underneath, because it was completely textured and had, oh, what is that called? I just lost all train of thought. I'm looking here. Crackle. That's what it had. It had crackle and everything on it. So, painting and drawing on it kind of threw me a little bit, I think. Um, so I wish I would have done a regular. And I almost at one point was like, you know what, I'm starting over and just using the plain canvas. But I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going through. Okay, let's try it this way now. So as you can see, we're putting in some, I forget what she had called them, but we did them on the bottom half of the painting, and then we went back at the end and kind of put in some uh, greener kind of ivy looking things. Again, for me, I think I might want to bring down some more of the kind of cloudy bits, I guess. I don't know. I like it. I like the cloudy bits at the end, but let me know down below what you guys think. And, uh, if I should maybe do that once it's done. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I just want to make her look like she's kind of just laying on a cloud, enjoying life, stars around, that kind of thing. So that's what we're doing now. We're just putting them in. It is. I tell you what, sitting and doing this is so relaxing. I have had such a rough month, and May is not a good month. It's my son's when his birthday. He would have been 27, I believe, and so this is not a good month for me. So this really helped preoccupy me, which I'm really happy with. And I got a painting out of it. Do you know what I mean? And I learned some things, so I'm quite happy. Now we're going, and we're just putting them down. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog snoring in the back in the background. He's like, I'm just snoring away, Mom. I don't know why. It's going to be a quieter day here. Emily went to her boyfriend's this morning, and he lives an hour away. Usually they kind of go back and forth there and here. Usually he's here more often than not, but she went up there. She's going to work with him today. And then I think they're going to his friends after, because I think his one friend's going back to Turkey, where they're all originally from. And so I hope they have a good time. And she'll be home in the morning because I think he works tomorrow, 11 to 3 a.m. So she's not going to be working with him like that. I miss her when she's gone. It's hard to, when your kids grow. And I'm especially overprotective of her since I've lost my son. And I'm trying to give her space and let her grow, and it is so hard. It's not making things easy. They wanted to go away 3 days this weekend. My son's birthday's Tuesday, I believe, the 29th. And so her boyfriend's off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and they wanted to go away. And I don't want to make her feel guilty. I really don't. I'm really trying not to do that guilt card and let her be free. So when I overstep, Dave yells at me. So now I'm going in with some more blue. And this is kind of where I had to start doing it on my own. Not on my own. I followed her tutorial through, but I mean, like, kind of doing more of what my brain could do rather than following Cinnamon's to the T. I went back in and I drew out the body and that kind of thing. And you're seeing, I'm just kind of laying everything back in. Um, so yeah, that's all I'm doing really. It's nothing real exciting right now. But I mean, if you screw up again, like I said, I wanted to start over, but I didn't. Now I'm taking some yellow ochre and mixing it with the magenta. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll tell you in a momento. I didn't want to put the colors because, like, on the camera, I wanted to do more focused in just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Because, like I said, when you follow Cinnamon's, then she will, she tells you and she shows you the mixing and all that kind of thing. And I think it's just, it's way better. I did, however, learn to do a new formulation for skin type, which I really dug because I usually use red. What do I usually use? Red, blue, and orange, I think. Which, I mean, when you look at the colors that you use, that she uses, cinnamon, um, she kind of cut the colors down. So like the yellow ochre is kind of that orangey yellow, and oh, so I did mix skin tone there. Okay, I didn't show it. I swear I did it on the other side. But she used magenta, the magenta and yellow ochre, and then she went in and kind of like put some white in it, I guess, to lighten it up a little bit. I think, I don't know. You have to look. I know I'm so helpful. I might even do it again. I thought I did it on the other side so you guys can see because that was one of the things I was very excited about. I know it sounds silly, but I was like, oh, okay. And I'm just laying in the skin tone, and the bottom part where you see I'm doing now is a little darker because it's going to be reflecting off of the underneath where she's laying. I had a little bit of an issue with that. I don't know if I recorded it or edited it out, but uh, I was having like it almost turned like a really dark gray on that bottom, and I played with it a little bit and I played with color and I finally got it. But right now I'm just blocking in, she's having us block in the skin tone. And as you see, it starts to come together. I mean, when you start adding that flesh. And I'll tell you what, she did black hair on here and I love it because not a lot of people, I love doing black hair on the folk art dolls and whatnot, but I really dug the black. You can see I'm getting ready to go in with it. I really loved the black hair. And she even added, like, towards the end, some highlights in, which I think I lost mine when it came to the end part. But I love the black hair with it just really looked good. Tooting my own horn, but it's not my horn, it's Cinnamon's horn because she's the one who did it. Just following the girl. The girl who knows how to do it. And I think you know what, I've got to ask her. I know these paintings are like they exist, so or I guess these are more her kind of versions of them, huh? I love it. I love it. And I've not taken time to really watch many YouTube videos or anything between everything that I'm trying to do in my life and dealing with everything, else, and my videos and just doing art for myself. I just didn't have much time. So I really did enjoy um, just sitting and doing this. Do you know what I mean? And painting and taking that time for myself. And I think it took 2 weeks for three videos. It took me about 2 weeks, I swear. Now that's her arm, and it's going around like the way it's sitting, and you're gonna see I play with that a little bit because like I am painting down, like I'm painting with the painting down on my desk. She paints on an easel. Now I have an easel and I've painted on the easel, many times. My issue is I can't stand long. I cannot stand long. If I go out and spend time walking or doing anything, like when I come home and sit down, it just is so painful. And then sometimes I just can't even hardly walk. So, um, I wanted to do it like that. I wanted to stand up because I do think that your view of what you paint is completely different. Now I'm putting in a little skin, like her little leg showing. I really dug that little leg. Um, but yeah, so I think when you're looking straight on, like on an easel or whatever, um, you get just such a better perspective, I think. For me to stand now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my easel the next time and see if I can kind of sit and have Dave arrange everything for me so I can paint, like sitting on the chair, and see if that would be okay. I have a lot of physical issues that just um, sometimes just don't help things. So yeah, okay. What am I doing now? But you see how cute? It's like she's laying there, her little legs peeping out. Hello, little leg. And now I'm going to lay a little bit of highlights, like lighten up that, because it's obviously going to be darker in towards her body and that kind of thing. So yeah, so I'm darkening up a little bit on the bottom, lighten it up on the top. And this is when I started to get very excited. My crying fit was a little before this, and I think maybe a little bit towards the end. But this is when I kind of like started seeing like, okay, there's a method to the madness. There's like, okay, she just keeps telling Cinnamon, and I pretend like she's talking just to me. Hang in there, hang in there. You'll see, it's all gonna come together. Hang in there, and I'm like crying, but it's not. But after this right here, I started seeing her vision much better, and seeing that I was kind of accomplishing it in a weird way. I will not win any contests. I will, that kind of thing. But so now I'm adding some. No, here's where I had another breakdown, and you're gonna see. And I don't know how much I kept in. I might have edited some of it out because it was very long. Me doing it, not Cinnamon doing it, me. And I kept having to go over it. And I was doing everything that she had said, but I was having such an issue, like comprehending, I guess, exactly what she said. So I'm just kind of going over it, and because you really want to work with the shadows, obviously, of where she's at, and the light and the shadows, and how she's laying and what she's doing. So I've done this quite a bit. And I'll tell you what else I loved. If you've seen the finished product from Cinnamon, or maybe you've done this yourself, she puts in like this lacy kind of scrolly kind of thing on her dress at the end, um, to kind of make it look kind of like sheer and have these very, I don't know, I love it. And I was really excited that I got to do it. And like I said, I tried really hard. And I really enjoyed those. But I am a lover of this mixing white. I cannot even stand myself how much I love it. And like I said, I'm working with Plaid to see what they have in all their paints, to see what I can use in these. So maybe I can even give away, enough to do the painting, because really it's like 6 colors, if that, I think, uh, to see if, I can help somebody out. Maybe send a canvas and some of these and maybe a couple brushes to, if you really dig this. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for that. Now I'm highlighting, and I do this shirt so many times because I do it one time and I love it, and then I get cocky, and then I'm like, oh, let me try this, and then I screw it up. Don't get cocky, and not cocky in a way of like, oh, Cinnamon, Pshaw. I don't need your guidance. Oh no, not like that. Just like, girl, you did that shirt good. That looks good. And then I futz with it a little bit and then futz. It's not a bad word. And then I make it all facciated. So, you know. And I'm just like listening to her and kind of trying to do what she says. And, she says, let's do the. Now, I did notice when mine dried, it did look more like of an outline of that blue. I didn't blend it as much as I should have, or she told me to, which I did not notice till the end. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But you see, she says like outline a little bit, and you see how that just brings. I mean, now I know painting with Jane, I think she has another one that I want to try. And I know Cinnamon has many, and she's doing this series, the Big Art Quest. So she just is not only doing this, she's doing like other ones with like princesses and I call them kind of goddesses or fairies, whatever you want to call them. And there's so many I love because this is my gig. I love this. So I might try another one of those as well. I won't record it. I'll show you when I'm done. I started doing this and I felt really, I don't know, I felt like weird in a way. She gave me full permission. I've talked to her and everything, and it's not Cinnamon who made me feel bad, but like doing it, like I can't do it justice, the teaching of it for one thing, for anybody, or to give it justice from her. And I just I don't know. I didn't want anybody learning necessarily from me because it is her painting, it is her creation, and I don't want to take any credit for that whatsoever. But again, like I said, I wanted to show you guys that you can do something if you put your mind to it. It's hard and it stinks sometimes, and you might get emotional if you're like me. Um, but you can do it. Well, you can do it. And like I said, it was very enjoyable. Now you can really see the texture underneath, like at the end of the dress and that kind of thing. Now, here's where I realized I wanted her to have a big bum because I have a big bum. I did not so much want her to have that big stomach, and I think I go in with the darker color or black, maybe even, and kind of cut that out. And I don't think I did that on video. I don't know. We'll see. But I was like, girl, like I get the big butt, but why the big stomach? Because you just look pregnant. And then she's holding underneath, and I'm like, oh, I want to look pregnant. The big butt's fine. I have the big butt. I mean, I have the big stomach too, but you know what I'm saying. Now this is when she's going in highlights and lowlights and this and that, and I'm like trying my best. I'm like, okay, okay, I'm gonna do it. It was a lot of fun. Didn't look a dang thing like hers, but I had fun. Now here's where I'm like, oh, I really dig the way this looks. And it looked better, obviously, in person. Oh, you'll see me mess it up a couple times. And then I was happy with the way it ended. And just really just laying those colors and playing. And I had to stop her many times and I had to go over it many times because it was getting rough. Like it was getting hard and I didn't want to make it muddy, but I wanted, you know what I mean? So we shall see, we shall see. And you could see when I pause and I'm like, girl, what else? What else am I gonna do? So I'm trying to fix that where like when you see it underneath, it's like folds of fabric as she explained it. So you want that where she's kind of laying to be going one way and then the top to be going another, because that's kind of when you're laying down, kind of how that would fall. So those are, she calls them folds of fabric. I call them like, girl, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I just keep going and playing. And that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do if you do have an issue. You might not even have an issue. My When I look at something, my brain does not process it correctly. Or, and I know a lot of you, it works like this for you too. It takes like 5 minutes to process. Sometimes Dave or Emily or somebody will say something to me and I just like look at them like, huh? And they're like, did you not hear me? And I'm like, and then like I hear it late. I process late. And unless you know what that's like, it's hard to explain. And I know a lot of you, I've talked about this before on my channel. But I'm tired of being defined. Not that I define myself by my illnesses, but it's like I don't want to be, I don't always want to let them beat me, you know? Like I used to love playing basketball and sports and volleyball and like all those things. And like my body's like, not gonna really be able to do that. I can bowl once in a blue moon. And I miss all that because I used to be able to do that. So those are things I probably won't be able to do to the full capacity like I used to be. Plus I'm getting older. But this is something that if I push myself painting things that I'm not, that I don't do as a rule, then, I'm proud. I'm happy. And I hope that you guys, will do that as well. So here we go. Now you can see the colors. Like I should have just left it be before the folds, but I don't know. And then the top's dark, so I got to go highlight that. It, it's okay. And I just keep going and doing it. I probably took about 20, 25 good minutes. Now I'm going to highlight. And then I realize, oh no, I kind of screwed it up. So I have to go back and play. Okay, so now everything's dry and I cut the belly away. Can you see where it's blacker? I added another light to the other side so you could see better. And I don't know where the video is for, maybe I didn't record that part because I was fixing the stomach and then I went on and can you see the squigglies in the dress? It almost makes it look like there's tulle, on top of the dress. I really dig it. So, but I did cut the belly out. And there's where we mixed. We mixed quinacridone magenta with the what was that other color? Yellow ochre, and then added some white. And it made, you could see the skin tone underneath. It's kind of blown out a bit because of the lighting, but that's what that is. And she's kind of highlighting the hair a little bit and just getting it around with a little bit of the blue. But I see when mine dried, it wasn't like dark enough or light enough, I guess. So, all right, now I'm gonna, she laid the face in with a very light, you can see it, a very light brown, I guess is the color, with a little bit of blue. And she puts in the eyebrow and then down the nose and the lips. And you see how that face is shaded? I screw this up quite a few times. And it's only because of the shadow color, which you'll see coming. Yeah, and a little darker, she says. And oh, I go a little darker. And you see how blue I'm making it? What the heck was I even thinking? So I do spend a minute trying to fix all this because it's really like a light grayish blue is I think how she had it come up. Very exciting. Like I said, this is, I think if I had to pick one of the things that I had the worst, one of the worst times, it was this part of the face, which is so ridiculous because like she did it like perfect and I don't know what the heck I did. I really don't. And then this is my life. And those of you who know me know. So I put my other light up, which is my jewelry light, my sewing light, and I turned it behind me so you can see it's absolutely brighter. This is great lighting. But I guess I didn't make sure it was secure. Yes, I rhymed. I'm a beastie boy. However, um, the dang thing fell, fell on top of me, fell on top of my computer screen. I got a big scrape. Thank God I didn't break it, but it scraped it. Yeah, I think I might have cried for 20 minutes after that. I'm not sure. And it was out of frustration. So yeah, so this is me rewatching it to decide what the heck to do because mine was not looking like hers. But you see how it's coming together? And do you see how I cut like the stomach off and how much better it looks? And it looks so much better with that leg kind of sticking out. Now that's my dream leg right there because that's just as big as my finger. I could have made it bigger. And I think I do go back in towards the end and just kind of make it a little bit bigger, but not much because it's just supposed to be like peeping hello, and you see how the dark around it and everything. So we are just, off to the races here. Okay, so here is where I'm going to try to fix everything. Now, I do play with this for quite a few minutes, uh, but I do get to a point. Hers does look much better than mine on this. As I'm looking at it right now, it kind of looks okay, but in person it didn't. So I did. I played with it. I've taken it down. I've taken it off. I've done it um, over and over, just to try to get it. And so what I did was, and this is I tell you this all the time when you're doing paintings or your art journal or ATC cards, whatever you're doing, um, move on to another part. Maybe it, uh, will help you clear your mind, and the rest will follow, as they say. Sometimes I have to get up and walk into another room, or just stop for the night or move on to a different part, whatever it is. Now I'm going in and I'm just kind of tracing the features and drawing the other side of the face. And again, I'm not somebody who paints small like this. So I really do enjoy the painting small. I am going to look for more of these in her catalog of videos on YouTube. I know there was one I wanted to draw. I don't know if I'm going to do all the flowers, but I do see that she does draw on there, and I might just use that and use it in place, put it on one of my mixed media paintings or something. So we shall see about that. But drawing this small was a big problem for me. Shading was a big problem. You see the lips? What is my lips? What am I doing on there? Is she bleeding? Did she eat I don't know, drink red Kool-Aid? I don't know exactly what's going on. But now I'm putting the pink. She says, put the pink, mine's red. I don't know. So those are things that I did learn. It took me some time, but I did learn. And, I hope to apply them in my mixed media. Some of these, because like I said, I love it. And even while I was doing it, I was thinking like, wow, I really would love to do this one in mixed media. And I might down the road because there's so much great texture and layering and colors. I really do dig it. Now I'm making her look a little possessed, which I'm not going to lie. If you know me and you follow me, you know I enjoy the evil. I enjoy skulls and all that good stuff. So I was like, maybe she's floating like the Exorcist girl, red eyes and everything. But I ended up not doing that. Who knows in the future? Maybe I will because I really, I can't lie. I did look at her and I was like, black hair, red eyes, red lips. Let's have some runny blood coming from her eye. I know it's really okay. We shall stop. But yeah, so I'm going back and trying to fix that face again. I rewound Cinnamon probably 5 times for this. And I really just played till I was like, okay, look, you know what I mean? This is the best you're getting today, girl. And I just keep playing and I'm trying to like follow her shading. Um and it's funny because I'm watching this and for those of you out there who do folk art girls or want to do folk art girls or want to do more realistic or that kind of thing, I'm going to tell you something that I realized when I was doing this face. You know, I had problems with the paint. Um, and that's clearly my issue, okay? But I sat here and I thought, you know what? Wouldn't that be cool to draw her on a piece of paper and to take either my colored pencils, which I love, or even pencil and shade kind of where the darker is, draw the eyes, the nose, you know what I mean? And shade it with like pencil or like I said, colored pencil, whatever. And really, learn about that shading. Um, a lot of the times I do the folk art girls and a lot of the times I just like drawing them. I don't like to futz around too much. I just want to get it done. Um, because there isn't much shading that you can do on a folk art girl. Now you can do in between a folk art and realistic kind of thing, which is kind of like her. She's kind of realistic and kind of folk arty in a way. And I really loved her. So like I said, there's things that we could practice and do to make us better. And now you can see it coming. I did screw up I tried to do highlights on the top of her forehead and on her cheek and a little pink and that kind of thing. And I did screw up a little bit and have to go over and fix the hair and all that good stuff. But I did it. I did it. Here I go. Going on that face again. And I'm just going back in with some of the blue that she laid down for the eyes, and she came back in with which I'll do in a second, with black for like the eyebrows and some eyelashes with her eyes closed and you know, well that kind of thing. And I really felt like I said I really loved it. I really loved how she came out. This is fun. If you guys get a chance to do like something of somebody's like this, do it. Follow it. Something that you really love that somebody did, or you want to learn, do it. Ask permission first, because I don't know. There's all kinds of rules. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and constantly do Cinnamon's tutorials when you can definitely go watch them on her channel. But I will show you when I'm done. And for anybody else, but like if you're just doing one because you want to challenge yourself or you really dig something, I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm not going to sell this. I'm obviously giving Cinnamon credit, for it, and I always think you should, no matter what it is. But I did. I learned quite a bit. And I'm oh gosh, I can't even. I know you guys are tired of hearing it, but I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. What's that song? I'm feeling myself. Feeling myself. I don't know. But I think you understand what I mean. Now you can see how dark I did that blue. Good gods in the heavens. Good gods and good goddesses. What is going on, Kelly? Too dark. It's still too dark. I'm trying to highlight and just playing around. And I think now you're gonna see at the end, um, when we put little, I think she called them little fairy lights or fairies or stars or whatever, and um, I kind of dug them. I did put some glow in the dark in the middle of some of them, so like when it's hanging and then maybe at night it would glow. I don't know. But I'm thinking about this bottom part, and you're gonna see it in a minute. Um, like I said, take the clouds down just a little bit underneath her. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think down below, if you're even hanging in this long. But yeah, I'm thinking about that, and you'll see it towards the end. You'll see me do it here in a minute. But I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking I might take that down a little bit because I don't dig exactly what I did with the ivy. Of course, Cinnamon's looks beautiful. Mine looks like, would you have some extra paint laying around, Cal? Didn't know what to do with it, Cal? You'll see. You will see it. Going back in for highlights, girl. Never have too much highlights. Gotta have that highlighter. I'm just touching up. And I think this is when I finally got it. The light, like the reflection on the bottom, the second part of that face. Let's see. You can see I went much grayer. I'm trying to get it lighter, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just working. That was a hard part for me. Working the face, working the face. I'm just kind of blending it together a little bit, just so it does its thing. I'm getting happier with it. See how pretty she's coming out? Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're getting to the end. So I took some black. I was just using Liquitex Basics and water it down a lot and go around the hair so it makes it look much more crisp. Although if you saw my hair today, not so crisp. Mine's all over the place. Going in with the eyes for the eyelashes and the eyebrows and that kind of thing. And you can see how the face is fixed a little better. I don't know. I think I might keep it like this or lighten it a little bit more. I don't know. So I'm just going and defining that hair like she says and that kind of thing. I have so many ideas. I'm like, do I bring the clouds down? Do I write the word breathe underneath? Because she's like, to me, she's like meditating. You know what I mean? And my word is breathe, girl, breathe. I don't know. I can't quite decide. So I'm just finishing everything up, finishing everything up. And I'm coming up on the part where now we're doing the flower crown. And I had a little bit of trouble with this. Again, it's the small things. It's like the face and the flower crown. It's going to take some practice. And I probably will do this again, the flower crown, on probably one of my odd girls, uh, and practice it because I do dig it. But you have to, it's those little details. They're really hard for me. I'm watching her and I'm listening to her do as she says. And I'm just laying down layer, layer, layer. That's the key to it. I also used, I will tell you, some of my whites, I used a satin, multi-surface satin in the white. And that's not the mixing white. That's just our normal white, Titan buff, not Titan, yeah, titanium white, that kind of thing. But I did use a satin multi-surface because it just worked better for me. And I ran out of my titanium white. And she also uses the slow dry blending medium, like the glazing medium. And if you have anything to that, use it. You know what I mean? Because it will help you. I used a lot of water more than I used the medium, but the glazing medium. But I mean, I used a lot of water because that's what I do in my mixed media and that's what I'm comfortable with. I did use some of the blending medium. And I think the blending medium actually went into the, because I think she used that and the mixing white and certain things. And that's what gives you that kind of lacy kind of dress kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I did do that. So if you don't have blending medium, of course, I mean, glazing medium, use some water. You just want it thinned out where it'll lay because wet paint sticks to wet paint. Now I'm going in with some green and we're going to do this like ivy underneath, and I'm not sure if I dig it or not. Like I said, I might, it's like a bluish green. I might paint some of that cloud underneath there. And only because it fits my aesthetic more. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, for me, I'm like, oh, what I'm wanting out of this painting is uh, her kind of just laying and taking a minute, meditating, breathing. Um, and I think that's why I want the word breathe on the bottom. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So we'll see. We'll see what I think. What when it's done. Because I do dig it this way. I just kind of like I said, I think it fits my aesthetic more. Like it makes it more mine doing it that way. Sorry, my husband just sneezed. He's downstairs with the door closed in his office, and you still can hear him sneeze up here in my art room where I have a dog snoring. Talk about being extra. Although he'll say I'm extra, so hey. So I'm going and laying these little dots in that end up being like fireflies in a sense. Little fairies, whatever you want. And I love them on the top kind of coming down. I don't know how much I love them on the bottom. I do go in, I don't think I do it here though. I think I just follow her tutorial, but I do go in and do lay down some of the Folk Art Super Glow Premium Glow in the Dark acrylic paint because I want to see if I can make them glow. And all in all, this was really fun to do. I really learned some tidbits about acrylic painting. It really makes me want to do another one of her tutorials. I'll probably have to watch it a couple times and I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. Um, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do. I wanted just to show a different part of me and something that I'm really striving for this year. because this typically isn't my thing with back, you know what I mean, like painting on top of paint and this kind of thing. But I really liked it, and I might try more on my own, you know. But you know, I learned, I got into all this doing Bob Ross oil paintings, which was a lot of layering, but oil paint is completely different than acrylic. So, you know, I've done those over and over and over again, but this was very exciting. So I really am thankful for Cinnamon for putting these out there. And, you know, as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Let me know what you guys think down below. And all Cinnamon's information is down below. And at the end of this video, you can click it. I love you guys so very much. Have a nice day.